Hello everyone, and welcome to La-Mulana. I've been meaning to do this LP for a while since I really enjoy this video game, but a lot of people say that it's pretty much impossible to beat without a guide because the game lacks a lot of context. I'm hoping to disprove that with this LP because, well, the game really does give everything to you, it's just really fucking cryptic. So yeah, we start La-Mulana, The Adventures of Not Indiana Jones. I'm under the assumption that everybody's seen the intro video where the game's mascot pretty much openly mocks players that bought this game, so I won't try to go into too much detail with the introduction. Suffice to say, what we're going to be doing with this video is getting started, getting all the gear we need to properly explore the ruins, and most of all, get the Holy Grail. That's the last bit we're going to do here. I find it interesting that laptops exist just for archaeological exploration. Like, I'd imagine they're the really thick ones that are just like army built, but it doesn't seem like that in this game. It seems like they're the kind you'd find in a Sony store. And right off the bat, we're introduced to the software mechanic of this game. And we also prove that Zelpud is a pretty fucking shitty programmer. But yeah, they're gonna have a lot of software in this game. Mail is typically newbie advice for starting players. And since I'm assuming you all saw the video, you all know that you're supposed to take the hand scanner. Yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of email from Zelpud. This, however, is under the assumption you didn't see the video, and they're basically saying be sure to scan everything, because you'll get a lot of information from researching the backgrounds. In the first equipment store, we have 3 items. The gun is really the best sidearm in the game, but it's so limited in ammo that you can never get it. Laptop cases are generally worthless, but if you're going for 100% completion, might as well grab it. Bucklers are completely worthless. Halfway through the game, you get a shield for free that's far better than the buckler, so don't bother buying it. It's not worth it. The game starts you off by giving weights. These are basically Zelda keys, for lack of a better term. And I think Zelpud explains it here, actually. If I would just, load up the laptop. There we go. Yeah, here he explains the concepts of weights. If you love Indiana Jones, you're gonna love this entire game because it is chock full of Indiana Jones references. And putting that handy scanner to use here. I don't think most people get the map to the surface, but if you scan this guy, you get the map. Also, that dude's outright lying. You don't take fall damage in this game. It's just terrible. But, we may have gotten the map, but we can't read it because our eyes don't work. We need to have certain software to read maps. And here's the game's tutorial for weight explanation by giving you a free item. The Zelda puzzle noise. If you've ever played a Zelda, this item just gives you the Zelda victory noise whenever you solve a puzzle. It's pretty good, but really not necessary. Man, my frame rate's pretty low on this. Should look at my recording settings. Now, I believe in the earlier parts of the game, if you're missing a weight, those birds will at least give you one weight for every chance you get. Also, secret here. This game has a lot of Doom logic. But with that secret, we get Death Village, Nagoto's first Flash game. It's supposed to be a software combo item, but you don't have a lot of software at the beginning of the game, so it's worthless. And you don't have a lot of hard drive space. It's a small laptop. Really small laptop. As you can see here, we don't take fall damage. La Mesa doesn't take fall damage in this game, for reasons that they actually specify later in the game. Now here's a little secret that a lot of my friends never figure out. Shortcut for the beginning of the game when you don't have warping yet. Now this is something I've noticed at the beginning of the game and I didn't notice for my first run. You could actually scan that, but it doesn't give you a lot of information. But if you look at the actual mural, you could see a lot of shit that you wouldn't have seen when you first played the game. Those entering these ruins beware, they lurk within the land of ordeals. Death awaits the powerless. Oh yeah, I don't think you can progress without the handy scanner, now that I think about it. It's a shame you'll never hear that intro like that again. That's one of the main reasons why I love to start playing La-Mulana. And here we have the first actual puzzle of the game. Though I don't think Zelpid tells you about it. But if you see these displaced floors, they're typically switches. These ones are really easy to see, but other ones, like displaced traps, those are harder. And we get our first life up. Item inside the treasure chest, so the sacred orb, don't eat it. Okay. Yeah, the Gate of Guidance serves as the introduction level of the game, much like every other tutorial level. But the traps aren't hard now, but they really get tough later on. Especially since now they're building us up to, ah yes, this is important. Should have bought the glyph reader because, as you'll see, we can't read the language of ancient La-Mulanis. Now every tablet in this game has some ancient script writing. The neat part about it though is that you could actually decipher the text on your own. It's just a basic cryptology chart. They make a different graphic for each letter in the alphabet. But who's gonna take the time to do that? Just buy the glyph reader. It's neat trivia though. I thought it was kinda cool. Unfortunately, we can't do much because we need money. The glyph reader's fucking expensive. Until then though, we could just run around and look at stuff. Zelpid mentioned initially that you should be scanning every skeleton you find. And this is a good idea because there's a lot of puzzles later on that either need the advice of skeletons or are the skeletons are the puzzles themselves. So keep that handy scanner handy. Now these dudes, they're actually a real mythological creature. I just can't remember them. I plan on doing lore videos along this series where I actually explain some of the stuff in the game, but offhand I can never remember that enemy's name. Oh yeah, these special tablets serve as save points. Don't mind the multiple saves. When I first played, I thought there were parts where you could not, like, escape from. I was wrong, though. You could, once you get the Holy Grail, you could escape from pretty much everything, so don't worry about it. Save cycling helps, though. You should always save cycle. It's a good habit. Now, I think around here I kinda... Yes. Olmec Head at Laventa Ruins. So, for those of you that are not in the know about archaeology and stuff, Gate of Guidance is supposed to resemble the ruins at Laventa in Mexico, based on the ancient Olmec civilization. Gate of Guidance has some discrepancies, like later on you'll see some Mayan calendars, but most of all it's based in Mexico. Now I go to the shop because I thought I had enough money for the software reader, but I was wrong. Also, you got the Yagoo map reader. Cause Yahoo. So yeah, we're too broke for the software reader right now, but we'll remedy that in a minute. Because the pots all over the beginning level all have 10 coins, so I believe I could have gotten the glyph reader right before I entered La-Mulana, but I didn't openly explore, so I fucked up. This area is really important. You should remember this. This is a healing hot spring. They explain it in the movie, but they don't go into the fact that you could scan it and cure curry addiction. Oh, what a dumb thing. If you pause the game via the select button, you'll see why they mention curry addiction, but that's a running gag in this game. That curry is the best thing ever. Which is sensible, since this was made by Japanese developers and they like their curry. Oh yeah, this guy mentions that there's a hot spring. If you didn't, like, see all the other hints before. And now we have our glyph reader. This'll be the most important software you equip in the entire game, because you're gonna be reading fucking everything. And how else are you gonna solve puzzles without software readers? Except, you know, beating the game. This tablet is actually already translated because Elder Zelpud tells intrepid adventurers stay here. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time walking back to Gate of Guidance. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of lore tablets, but I screen cap everything just in case. So, mind that little message. That's just my mobile Super X. There's actually software in the game that'll let you record messages on hand, but with the Steam overlay, you don't need it. Not at all. Still gonna get it though, because it's actually really helpful for not having to sift through JPEGs. Behold the Gate of Guidance. Death awaits those who disturb this land. Now right now, scanning save points isn't important, but later on it's gonna be really important. Both at the end of this video and the beginning of the next video, and at the end of the game. But we'll discuss that later. Offer 3 lights to the heavens. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to offer light, so this is one of many puzzles that you won't be able to solve initially, along with that weird moon rune in the background. And now we're gonna have our first legit puzzle solved. Prove thine courage. Now this is important. See those eyes in the background? Don't fuck around with the ruins. If you see those eyes, don't apply Doom logic, because you will get fucked up. While this game has a lot of hidden walls, it also punishes people who just haphazardly hit shit. Because you don't desecrate. Oh fuck, that's right. I fall for this trap. Trapdoors in this game are weird. You can easily see them if you pay attention, but you don't see. You're definitely not paying attention to floors half the time. Also, that skeleton said that the spikes will kill us, but the tablet earlier said prove thine courage. So basically, they were telling us to jump into the spikes. And our first weapon, Ninja Stars, in Mexican ruins. These are by far the weakest weapon in the game, but it's traded off by the fact that you could use them at range. And Zelpud's saying that certain items in La-Mulana require ammunition, even though Ninja Stars themselves are ammo. Still gotta remember what those dudes are. There's a lot of distinct enemies in this game that have unique history, that minor one being one of the enemies. But they don't tell you in-game, which is weird. I would have liked to have had them like keep the body persistent so you could scan the enemies like these dudes. But you don't get to do that, unfortunately. Death awaits the powerless, the future awaits those who train themselves. Basically that's saying don't fight the boss initially. You want to get stronger and like be able to survive a hit before you fight any bosses. Now unfortunately, this dude says that there's a trap here and I'd like to demonstrate it, but I don't have weights. I spent all my money on fucking software. Oh, this clue's important. This is actually an important clue later on. I should have the map reader to prove it. Another puzzle I can't solve without weights, but that we don't care because we're getting something more important than anything here. And that's not it. That's just something I did because it was there. What am I doing? Alright. Yeah, there's an elevator system here, and you'll see later on in the video that I fuck up real bad by not activating it. You'll see. First of all, not being able to translate the tablet. Oh well. That skeleton has nothing, unfortunately. There's a lot of good skeletons, and then there's a lot of useless skeletons. Which kinda sucks. I like the destroyed tablets in this game because it shows that this place really is fucking dilapidated. And not everything's gonna be spick and span, so you'll have to solve a lot of puzzles with intuition. But that one's kind of obvious. Sad Tale of the Giants. That's basically describing the next level, which will be video 3, I think? Not sure. Now this clue's important. I spent 20 hours not being able to beat the boss in the first level because I didn't scan this skeleton. In the last room, there are several epitaphs that have those exact icons on the right. You'll see in a minute. And there are also tablets that just have nothing. They're typically broken ones, so... Oh, this is also an area where you'll see Mayan calendars, which is weird considering... Well, I guess Maya did extend to Mexico, but nah. Found where the Cliff of Radiance is. Ah, this is describing doors in the game. I think Zelpud also explains that. Now, as I mentioned, the 4 epitaphs that the skeleton told us about are water, wind, fire, and whatever that last one is. If you break them in the wrong order, you get shocked, and you can't break the other ones, so you have to get it right. You have to get it right, or then leave the area to reset the puzzle, because it doesn't reset just by changing rooms. You have to leave the Gate of Guidance. And that puzzle allows us to get allows us to activate a dais, but again, I don't have weights. I'm a man on a mission. These pigs are annoying if you approach them from the bottom because they attack in a diagonal cross pattern. And they always run into you, which is annoying. Ah, here we go. Zelpud explains the concept of single-path doors. May seem calm now, but those doors get fucking annoying. Really annoying. Now, you're not going to see me attack this cliff because I'm really low on HP and pretty gun-shy about it, but if you attack this cliff at this point in the game, the Thunder God punishes you. And it is really painful. I think Thunder God attacks you for half... Well, not half your maximum HP. I think it's like... Until you get to 100 HP, it's like 40 HP, but once you get past 100, it's 80 damage from a Thunder Shock. It really hurts. And that skeleton has nothing. Really irritating. Also, this is another dungeon, but we don't go there until we get a lot more stuff. Also, fans of Castlevania, you'll love this. Blood skeletons! Unfortunately, they don't work like blood skeletons from Castlevania. They just look exactly the same and shoot fire at you. By killing them, you get a puzzle unlock. Now here's the important part that I'm going for. Pour the memories into Holy Grail, leave the mark on this land, then raise the Holy Grail and recall lands once traveled. Basically, they're telling you that the Holy Grail lets you warp, and that's what we're aiming for this video. Found an escape route, but you couldn't escape. Oh, poor friend. That dude lets us solve this puzzle right here, which unlocks that chest. Unfortunately, I fucked up pretty bad. And that's basically saying, if you see a white platform, you're gonna want to put a brick on it, like we just did. I would have scanned that earlier, but like I said, I really messed up by not activating the elevator. As we'll see again. God damn it. The nice thing about this game is that if you take damage in the air, iframes doesn't stop until you land. That way you don't find yourself in a scenario where you take damage into unavoidable spikes. You'll take damage once you try to jump out of the spikes if they're a certain kind, but you won't take damage from the fall, which is nice. More Cliff of Radiance bullshit. I believe up here I fuck up and fall for another trap. Yep. But I believe that trap was on purpose. Can't remember. Bats are annoying. Throughout this game, you'll see that I hate bats. Ooh, I didn't fuck up that time. Now, the tablet on the left explains what I'm about to do, but I just did it out of reflex because, well, shit. It's so obvious that you're supposed to hit that. Shall connect what's held in the mouth, what one swallows, the other spits out. You'll notice that those two Olmec heads have a line connecting them. And while it stops at the chest, it doesn't activate the chest, it activates the elevator. And with that, we get the Holy Grail. So, yeah, next video, we actually do Gate of Guidance.